Today we're going to make some cartoons by drawing on top of objects that we arrange. So grab yourself some things. So I suggest objects like maybe a stone, wool or cotton, a lace.
Ooh, laces.
Maybe some buttons.
I love buttons.
A lolly stick.
And who doesn't love lollies? Right, I'm going to love this project.
Any other little items like that are really good because what we're going to do is arrange them, take a photograph, and then we're going to draw on top of it.
So have you already got something in mind before you start? And do you select objects that you think would most suit that subject? Or do you just open a box of random stuff you've got lying around and see what happens?
Yeah, quite often I just open sort of random stuff and I'm aiming to create some sort of little character.
That's not me, is it?
No, but I did do one that was a bit like you. Do you remember? Well, you thought it was. It was actually Madonna. But this, so what I'm trying to do is create a little creature, and then I want something that's almost like a little speech bubble or a think bubble, so we can put some words in those later.
So once you're happy with the arrangement you've got, grab your phone or a camera and just take a photo of the arrangement. You also need something that your character's going to say. So this could be a sentence you write yourself or a few words, or if not, maybe you find yourself a quote. And a good place for doing that is brainyquotes.com. But just remember that some of those quotes might be copyright, so be a bit careful.
So I would normally edit these photos in Photoshop and then put type on in maybe Adobe Illustrator. But I know not everybody's got that, so I'm going to use this online application called Pixlr. But you can use any app that you know well that you can put type on and adjust photos. So we're going to open it up. That's pixlr.com. And then we want to open an image from our computer. So I've got mine on my desktop. Open up here, the one called Piggy. And then if you want to, you can just tweak the image by doing all these things. You've got brightness, contrast, hue and saturation. That just makes it so it's more intense, the colour. But first of all, we're just going to look at curves. And if yours is a bit sort of grey here, it's not gone very white, you can just go up here where it says white point and then pick a bit that you want to be white. So I'm going to pick this bit here. Click on there. You can see how it brightens everything up. But you have to be careful it doesn't go too far, otherwise you might end up everything look really bleached out. But we're going to leave that as that. But if you want to, you can tweak with this. As you see here, you can make it go brighter and darker. Actually, I might actually leave it, it's a little bit more punchy there. So I'm going to leave it there and go OK. And obviously you can spend a bit longer tweaking that. And then get your brush, the little brush symbol there. And we're going to change the size of the brush. I think that 50, if we look here, you can see how big that is. It's way too big. We want to draw a little mouth on there. So let's try 9. And obviously you're going to play around. I'm going to leave it at black. If you want to, you can click on there and change the colour like that. I say we're going to leave it at black for now. And this little pig is sad because he's eaten too much. So he's going to have a little sad mouth. So I'm just going to draw that on really simple. And then I'm just going to put some grass here. And obviously you can spend more time and draw this a lot better than I am. But there's a bit of grass. And then a little stem. I'm going to just do a daisy if I can draw it. There we go. A few more petals on there. Very, very wobbly, but you can do better. Or maybe a little smiley mouth. He's a lot happier than the pig. And then what you do is save it. So if you go to File, Save. And then you've got some options here. Now, if you think you might want to come back in and edit that image, then save it as a PXD. But if you're happy with everything, just save it as a JPEG. And I'm going to up the quality as the best I can get from that. So I'm going to call this Piggy Drawing 2 because I experimented earlier and tried one. So Piggy Drawing 2 and then save as OK. Piggy Drawing 2, save. And then what we're going to do next is take that into Canva and add some text onto there. Meanwhile, Sandra had some very unusual ideas of her own. I think we'll leave her to it and come back to that at the end of the video. So I'm now in canva.com and this is completely free to use as a tablet and phone version, and this is the desktop version I'm using. So I'm going to choose social media as my size. But you can obviously choose something different if you want. It gives me a square. There are templates here, but we're just going to start with the blank here. So we want to upload our image. So go to Uploads, Upload an image, and then I'm going to choose Piggy Drawing 2, the one we just did. and it should just take a few minutes. There we go, just uploading. And then just grab that and put it on your page. And then I'm just going to scale it up so it fits. I think that will do. And so we're going to put some text in here. And I'm actually going to dedicate this to Sandra because she ate all those sweets that you saw in the video. Every single one after the other. So let's do some text. So we're going to add a heading. And I'm going to put Piggy felt in the first little line. It's going to basically say Piggy felt poorly after eating all the sweets. So I'm going to choose a font here. And I really like a font called Railway. So I'm going to keep this fairly simple. Looks a bit light. So I'm going to make it bold as well. You can see you can choose bold here. I think that's gone bold. Let's try again. Bold. There we go. And if you want to change the size, you can just do that here. I'm going to leave it at that for now. See how we go. And then on my next line, I want to add some more text. So I'm going to add another heading. Now, if you're going to keep all the same font, you can just keep on typing in there. So you could type whatever you like in there. But I want to use some different fonts. So for different fonts, you need a different text box. So here I'm going to put poorly. Actually, let's do it in caps. Poorly. And I want that to be a different font. So I'm going to make that a font I like called Amatic, which is quite cartoony. I'm going to make that bold as well. And I want that bigger. So let's try. I think we're going to make it a lot bigger. Let's try that. I think that's not bad. Okay, we'll leave that at that. And then I want, down here, I want some more text, which is the same font as this. So I'm going to just duplicate it. So if we go copy, and then if you go down to the bottom of it, and you can just drag it. You can see how you get a center line there, so you can line things up. So in this one, I'm going to put Piggy felt poorly. So after eating all the, and in the bottom line, I'm going to put sweets. So let's make that a lot smaller. That's not bad. I'm just going to alter the spacing here. So you can see here we've got a thing called spacing. And this will just tighten up so there's less space between the letters. Can you see there? So that's more space. And then we're going to go less space. Oh, not too much because it will look stupid. So take a little bit out. And then what I might do is just make it fractionally smaller. Let's try typing in. You can type in here, 13. So that's not bad. Obviously you can tweak it a lot more. And then in the bottom bit, I want the word, I'm going to copy again. And I'm going to put the word sweets. So I'm going to make that caps as well, sweets. And I want to put a box or something below that. And Canva has loads of options for things you can do here. So if you go to, if I can remember, elements over here, and you can see loads of different things you can have. I'm going to type in banner. You can type in all sorts of things here. Let's try to type in banner, see what we get. Okay, so that one's not bad. I think there's some more down here. Let's see what we've got. So some are free, some you have to pay for. So I'm just going to use the free ones. Let's try this one. Okay, I don't want that colour. It's horrible. So I'm going to choose a pink, and I want to use something similar to that. So I'm just going to take a bit of a guess. So let's go for a sort of pinky sort of colour. Let's try. That's not bad. That's fairly close. Maybe a little bit darker, just so you can get the words coming out. And then scale it by just grabbing the corner. And if you hold down the shift, I think it keeps it so it's all it scales in proportion, but I'm not quite sure. So let's try that. And then I just want to make that a little bit smaller that way. I basically want it so it all lines up at the sides. Okay, and obviously I've got a problem now because that's in front of my text. So if I go to position up here and say backwards, and then you can see it again. And then I just need to move that word sweet up a little bit. Or maybe I'll move that down, the banner down. No, let's move it up. It needs tweaking, but I'm going to leave you to do that on yours. I'm going to make that slightly smaller. Tweak it again. Obviously it needs more space, but I'll let you work that out. And go to white on there. Let's move this down just a touch. So move this wording down. Okay, that would need a bit of work, but it's kind of getting there. So I want to select all this together and just sort of center it better in that bubble. So if you go outside of the thing, outside of the box, holding down shift, basically selecting everything. But what I don't want this outside bit here. So then if I keep holding down shift and click on that, you can see I've now just got that bit selected, and you can actually group it. So let's group it, and now I can move the whole thing together. So I think that looks about right. So you can tweak it a bit more, and then all we need to do then is we can save it. Actually auto saved it, so that's fine. And then we just want to download that as an image. So go download, and you can choose the file type you want. Let's go for a JPEG and download. And it just takes a few minutes to think about it. And then I'm going to put Piggy with new text, and I'm going to save it into that same folder and save. And that's it, you've got your little picture with text on. Here's a few examples of the sort of images that I've made in the past. Now let's go have a look what Sandra was up to.
So in my opinion, you really don't need to go and spend money in an art and crafts store to buy your bits and bobs. You can just use anything you find floating around your house. And in this case, I used the dog hair floating around mine. And I have a Labrador, by the way. Yeah, and all it took was a pair of googly eyes. How cute is he? I've called him Watson. And I reckon he'd make a really nice gift. Might send him to Tara. Does smell a bit of dog hair though. Don't forget to subscribe. Meanwhile, you can check out the creative challenges we have coming up at www.kickinthecreatives.com. Back soon!